So, hello everyone. My name's obviously David Smith. This is the Mindset Soldier podcast, and today we've got someone fantastic that I've known for over 20 years, Joel Fearon. Now, I want to speak a little bit about him. He is a husband of 4 kids.
That's correct.
Perfect. And one of the fastest 100-meter sprinters in British history.
That's correct.
Amazing achievement, that, bro.
It's all right.
He's an athlete mentor, social media director, performance coach, motivational speaker, educational mentor. What else can you do in life, bro? That is a big, big resume.
You forgot Olympic medalist, bro.
As well. You didn't bring your medal. That's why I didn't say it right.
Yeah. What else can I do? Hold on. What have I done? Nah. You know what? Like growing up, I had no skills, bro. I was like skillless character. School was tough because of that. So I think I got to a point where I'm like, well, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to feel like this.
Yeah.
I want to be what I believe I should be worth.
Yeah.
So I just made a change, mate.
So what built you into the person you are today? Because I knew you from secondary school.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about that just yet.
Yeah.
I want about the small Joel Fearon, the person that grew up. What kind of family environment was your dad present? Was your mum?
Yeah. My mum and dad were there. My mum and dad were hard workers, bro. They were like, my dad was a grafter.
Yeah.
My mum worked hard. Means they were on the road a lot. So they were always out. My dad would be he's back by the time I'll be sleeping by the time he gets back, and he'll be left by the time
passing the wind. Do you know what I mean? That thing
so
where
it was
living in the same house but never seeing each other.
Exactly. Until I started, I think I got about 14, and my dad had a restaurant, so I started working with him. So that was a chance to sort of see him in his environment. See how hard he worked, see what he was about, really, because I could just sort of observe as a young man. See my dad going about his day to day.
How did you find that though? Say, for instance, obviously your dad was present. Your dad was amazing. He gave you that obviously workforce, but him not being present all the time. What did you take away from that? A bad or a good? Or
it made me want to be more present for my kids. So I'm constantly initially. So my first child, I was like, don't care about money, don't care about nothing. I want to be here. I want to be present. And I remember when I moved to Loughborough, and when I moved to Loughborough to do sport, we didn't have much. And getting much wasn't my priority. My priority was spending time with my wife, spending time with my son, and creating just a lovely home environment. So I went complete opposite for a little while to what he was, and literally just went into the house. But then as I've got older, I've grew wiser and understood.
Because sometimes you're present. Being present doesn't equal profit.
Profit, exactly. But it took me a while to understand that. So at first I just want to be there. And then as they're getting older and having more kids and my family's getting bigger, I'm understanding that they require more from me than just being here. That's one part of a very big picture.
So that's what you took from your dad, from obviously growing up. What about your mother?
What was my mum? My mum was just a loving person. My mum was loving. She was giving. She loves all her children like so much, too much. She's that woman. She loves us all too much. There's nowhere on the earth that I could be like, I'm stuck, I need help, and my mum would be no long to it. Even my dad would cuss me, but she'd drag him along. You know what I mean? Like, my dad's cussing, but he knows he's got to come because mum said.
Stamping his feet.
You know what I mean? And that we gotta help him again. It's like, you gotta help him again. But my mum was just loving, man. She's
resilient.
Just I think just constant. There's no like. My dad, I was trying to always impress him, always do the most. Show him, look where I've got to. My mum, my biggest fan. I ain't done nothing, bro. My mum, my biggest fan before everything and after everything. She's still my biggest fan. So.
It's unconditional love though, but coming from that perspective of obviously your mum doing that, now you're a father and obviously your wife and that, you realise how fucking hard it is.
Bro.
Being that present,
bro,
and emotionally connected to your kids.
Being emotionally balanced, bro.
That's hard.
I remember if I would have caught a beating off my dad, I could now understand that he would have been in a stressful position himself under a lot of pressure. And I would have just come with the Iceland, just pissed him right off. Do you know what I mean?
But
in reality, as I get older, I'm understanding that. I'm seeing that in myself. I'm like, okay, don't be too snappy. Understand where you are and where he is. He may be being consistent in his environment, and actually, it's my environment that's changing. which I've got to balance out and stuff like that.
So I think it's quite hard, obviously, because you're on the road quite a lot, and you do a lot, and obviously with your kids, like myself, I could be at the house at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and get back at 6. I'm stressed. I want to relax, and your kid runs up, and you've got to take that split second. Yo, this is sick. I'm gonna be calm. Instead of coming in thinking, oh fuck off, like I've got to do something. Do you know what I mean?
I think for me, it's always been that. So I don't have many people around me at all. Like, I don't carry many friends. I've got some good friends, but they are like, they're people that I can call, and I can call me. But they're not in my space all the time. Like my home environment, that's almost my safe place as well. So I always say I put down my sword and shield at my front door. Like when I come in, I can be as much me as possible.
The authentic self.
Do you know what I mean? Like me as a child, I can be playful, I can be fun, I can be emotional a little bit if I want to. I can be free to an extent.
And not judged.
And not judged and only loved in there, There's one thing about my children is that they love their dad. And I love the fact that they love me, and I want to keep that connection alive as much as possible.
It's a powerful moment, though, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. All of them. Even the fact that I've got 3 boys and I got a little girl at the end, and she's even different. Like the love and her reaction to stuff is so much different. And again, it's given me a new lease of life. Like all these kids, but then I got a 2-year-old daughter that now gives me another boost and something else to work for. And okay, all right, I want to walk her down the aisle, so make sure we don't get too fat. Make sure we got some money in the bank because she want to have a nice wedding. She's gonna want a dress, maybe want a Bentley. I don't know. My brain's just like, all right, we've got other things to do, and there's more happening. So, that keeps me going, give me a new.
Does that seem like stemmed into you from a very early age? Is the forward thinking? So from obviously your teenage years, we met in the Woodland School. Massive. What house were you in? Sparks. I was stringing with it because there was quite a rivalry. Like, I'll say this.
There's tension down there, bro. And that's why I didn't like Stringer House.
I didn't like you.
I swear I didn't like. Hold on.
But it was that divide. I think because it was an all boys school. And it was split, blacks, whites, always, because it used to be that kind of way fighting and mentality. Like people that we probably, I don't know if you still speak to. I speak to Michael Foster a little bit now.
Big Mikey.
Do you know what I mean? They're sound as fuck now. Do you know what I mean? But it's being in an environment from an all male environment, alpha driven. What did you expect coming from that? Like, what was your reason going to that school? Was it to do with sports or?
I went there to do sports, but didn't really get into much sports there. I got there, and I came from Birmingham, so I came from a really multicultural school. Like, and then I came to this school, and it was like
split on it.
It was a big shock for me. It was a big shock for me.
Which wasn't good.
Well, for me, it taught me some lessons. And I don't believe there's any bad in anything. Like the reality is, you have to learn. And you take from the environment that you're in. So it was a different environment. I learned a lot in that environment. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot of how to navigate my children, how to deal with emotion, how to deal with theirs. For me, I never felt that much conflict in my entire days. Like, I'm getting adrenaline going to school. Like,
because you knew there was fights.
I'm on the school bus going to school, and I'm
fucking the school bus.
I'm wired up, bruv. Like, and I'm thinking, well, that's not healthy, is it?
Remember the top deck trying to get to the back? Bro, you got banged.
That's not healthy, bro. And it was that, and it was this kind of like pecking order, this stuff, and it brought out a side of me that I guess it didn't
competitive.
It didn't exist before Woodlands. And to be fair, it's only something I call on when I need to now. And after Woodlands, sort of went quiet. I went to a mixed school, girls, boys. People are less interested in, more interested in girls at this point. When you 15, 16, people just start changing. I started taking my sport seriously. It taught me a lot, but it fogged my mind a little bit of. I turned into a soldier at the age of 13 for no reason. It was literally just a rebel without a cause. And I think that if I would have stayed in that environment any longer, potentially wouldn't be here today talking to you.
100%. You could have gone down a lot of other routes.
It would have got more embedded into me. It would have become more my normal. Like, one thing about it was I was still uncomfortable. Although people may not have perceived me as being uncomfortable in that environment, I was very, very uncomfortable.
Because you don't know yourself at that age.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And then when I left it, to me, it was like wait for short. Like in the end, I got expelled.
Yeah.
For being like an instigator of problems.
Yeah.
So I moved on, and at the time, I was so upset. So I'm like, how am I getting expelled from school? Because I wasn't naughty in class and stuff. Like, I wasn't like a bad kid.
But it's the people you were around.
Yeah, the people I was around, and I think no, but also it was how I was perceived.
Yeah, 100%.
It was how, like, to the teachers, they were like problem, and I was like, all right, I'm a problem. Like, I just started taking on this role of, do you know what I mean? I must be a problem then. If I'm, you become like one thing, like when your kids are teenagers, they're defensive anyway.
Yeah.
So as soon as you poke, their man will push back because that's just you're at that point. That's where you are.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I left when I did, because it didn't get too embedded into my character.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was it was a massive learning curve. Like, for me, massive learning curve.
It gave you that kind of fire kind of thing.
It did give me fire, but it also taught me how to manipulate situations, how to so at that point, I understood that my character can make people uncomfortable. Like my being, my whatever, can make teachers uncomfortable. So then I have to change the way I talk, understand how you talk to teachers. How would you make them feel comfortable? How, if you and a male teacher are getting a head-to-head, how do you make yourself come out of that situation well and not just go down this cycle of ego? You have to learn to just...
Ego is a big thing, because you have to be emotionally intelligent. That's one thing I've learned.
You do.
You don't learn that in school. You learn how to be intelligent. But not emotionally.
No, not at all. And I think, to be fair, like, I would say that males, we mature quite late.
Yeah, 100%. Lazy.
Because we just mature late. Like, in terms of what even when I was 24. I was still quite immature, although I could have been. Do you know what I mean? I was immature. I was making bad decisions. When I look back, I'm like, oof. So when I see a 24-year-old now, you see like 24-year-old football players on the TV, like doing stupid shit. And I'm like, he's still not there yet, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's being trialed and judged and I know you're big, but he's still like, as an adult and as an adult male, you're really not there yet. Especially like 18.
I don't think you reached that to your early 30s, bro.
Well, I'm still trying to get there, bro.
No.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm still trying to get there. Still trying to control that ego. Still, like, for example, I cussed out my neighbor last night. Got my nerves. And afterwards, I felt bad, and then I was like,
"What, did it not put the bin out?"
Nah, you know what? And then afterwards, I felt bad, and then I was like, "Man, there is an element of that in men." So I have to. Sometimes I'm too soft. And
but it's knowing when not to be soft.
I'm still trying to find this balance, you see. I still look back at situations and, okay, I should have been tougher there. And then I look back and I said, oh, I should have been a bit more. I should have shown more grace at this point.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm still like in trying to balance that out, especially because I'm protective of my family. So
you don't want them seeing a certain side.
So I'm trying to, like, okay, show them the right reaction at the right time, but also not get caught up in how I feel.
100%. It's an emotions as well. Like, I've learned this is it's reactions and responding. That's one's big. Road rage is one for me. I'll react way too quick.
I see. I don't get road. That's why I left the city, though. Living in a country, no such thing as road rage, bro.
What do you do? Ride a fucking horse to work, bro? What do you do?
Nothing there, bro. There's literally nobody there. Like, in a village of 100 people, you bumping into, there's nobody there. So you just like so. And then that's a case of where I understand who I am. And so I take myself, I do this often anyway, I take myself out of certain environments so I keep control all the time. So I'm never, if I know that this is my capacity, then I know that this will push me over.
Yeah, of course,
This will push me over.
You can't expect to be in boiling water and not get burned.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm always trying to control that. So I will always look ahead and be like, is this a good idea for me to be in this environment?
Of course,
If it isn't, then it just isn't.
Exactly. Sometimes it's hard to, like, you put in certain situations, and I think that's, as you gradually get older, you learn from it. Because as a male, you predominantly testosterone based. Like, I don't back up. Like, for now, like, I know how to respond, but I'll never back away from no one, no matter what it is. I don't care. I'm head front on, seeing my vision. Don't care who's in the way of it, whether that's physically or mentally. Do you know what I mean? But my intentions have to be good. If my intentions are not there for my purpose, I'm not doing it.
I think for me, is like the biggest one for me is like navigation.
Yeah.
So I like conflict or any kind of like, but that's my last resort.
Yeah.
So I will always put my ego aside.
Yeah.
For the outcome that I require.
Yeah.
I think one thing about sport has shown me that, listen, you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, but you have to be able to evolve quickly. You're gonna have to be able to take some shots for my kids. So say my children and my wife are behind me. I'm gonna have to take a couple punches this way and lead them around this way. So they then get an easier way in. They get an easier ride, for example. Because for me, like head-to-head confrontation or that kind of never works out well for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, it never works out well. Like, you know, if and I think some little bit.
It's just fight no fly.
Yeah, for a little bit is like a bit like race to be like. If something kicks off or there's a heated argument, I will always be treated if police, for example, enter. I will always be in the harshest way. So my brain says, okay, understand that you are guilty until you're innocent.
Yeah, I get that.
If someone comes in, they'll go, you, straight away, and you have to understand, okay, how can I make that not happen? How can I navigate these situations so I'm not having to fight, which at one point in my life didn't mind to, whatever, boom, 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 but I've had to learn I'm going to be knackered by the time I reach my destination. So, But there is an element of me just having to always be able to negotiate the best negotiation, and to navigate my way through instead of trying to cut through like the old me would want to do.
Yeah, life is just chess, isn't it?
It is.
You have to pick your position 3 times before you even know where you're going.
Yeah.
Because I've made fucking stupid decisions, bro. Do you know what I mean in life?
I'm still gonna make them.
100%, bro.
I'm sure we've still got some more left in the tank, you know.
So, what elevated you through your athlete career? Because obviously you're Olympic athlete.
So I want to be the best. I don't want to be bottom of anything.
And you're not even realistically known for your running, right?
Yeah.
And you're the 4th fastest person ever in Britain. That's a fucking achievement, bro.
It is an achievement.
I could never catch you at school, bro.
That was to prove a point, mate. I always know I'm like on that list. I'm far. I would say I'm like 20% less talented than all of the boys around me. For me, it was just a point I was proving. Like I was rejected from athletics. Like, you know, we want this guy, we want this guy, we want this. Even when I was like literally the fastest man in the country, it was like, we'll put you in for the relay, but we don't think you are what we want for the 100 meters. We prefer this person or this person we've invested in for the last 4 years, so we feel that they deserve to go, or whatever it is. So me was just proving a point, and it was proving a point to others. To be like, I can do this, but ultimately it was to myself.
100%.
Like, because you know, I'm on a constant quest to find out what it is I'm worth. Like, sport is tough because it gives you a number. You got a number, whatever it is. You're a position. You're a number. You're a this. If you ain't that number, you ain't shit. That's just how it works. So I had to sort of, and I'm like that every day. Every day, mate. Every day I'm trying to find new worth. I'm trying to find new value to myself. And I was speaking to like a psychologist, and they're like, you know, Joel, this isn't healthy. And I'm like, probably not. But this is what makes me happy. This is where I am.
This fuels you.
Yeah, this is what makes me me. So probably if I was healthy, I'll be sitting somewhere on a sofa, happy as Larry, doing just normal mundane stuff and being actually very sad.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
But
actually, yes, there's ups and downs that come with it, but the challenge is what drives me, and the want to be the best. I want to be the best dad, husband. You know, I will still win the dad's race at school just to lay some smoke on them, see the kids go way over. Like, that's how we rolling. Do you know what I mean?
I'll trip you up, you near me, bro.
Well, I'll trip you up first because I'm about to win too. Do you know what I mean? It's just like that. So, you know, I'm driven like that. Not in every day, in everything that I do, I just want to be the head and not the tail. That's what moves me.
So when you kind of started out, obviously with your sprinting and stuff, what put the avenue to go down like bobsleighing? Because you're a summer and a winter athlete.
Yeah.
And that's not really heard of.
Nah, probably not like doing them both together, because I did them like a side-by-side career for maybe like 8 years or 9 years, which was tough because it was traveling for 7 months of the year. So
and realistically, you are, I think it's down on paper as the fastest bobslayer ever, isn't it?
Yeah, in history. Yeah. Fastest winter.
That's mad.
In history.
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah, like, you know, I think the opportunity came to do bobsleigh. I was a little bit reserved to do it. Like, I didn't want to do it at first. My coach was probably one of the biggest. When I met him when I was 21.
He's one of your biggest motivators, right?
Yeah. Stayed with him till I literally retired, like when I was 32. And he was he traveled with me all year, bro. I'm not even recognizing what he's doing. Like, at the time, he got me from just being any guy to some, like, I'm racing Usain Bolt, you know, and I'm not even the fastest in Britain at some points, and then I've got all the way to this point, traveling the world. He traveled with me all 7 months of the year. I'm traveling, he's with me. Like, he's got a wife and kids as well.
Yeah. It came more of I think a friendship, right?
Yeah, he was probably like a father figure to me at that point. Sure. Like, my mum and dad had moved back to Jamaica, and literally they moved back, and he came into my life. And literally stood by me. You know, he was my guarantor for my first little flat that I rented in Loughborough, and was with me the whole time. Like, there's nothing that great.
That's powerful, though.
Nothing great happened in my life without him being somewhere in the background. Like, every picture I have, he's somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I could say this picture is over there.
It's amazing to see that, especially from an athlete with your perspective. Yeah. Is he didn't want the glory; he wanted you to be.
Literally. And he was hard work, bro. The amount of training that I used to do, I'm looking at him thinking, you are mad. Like, this is too much, bro. And he'd be like, we'd like, you know, when I was in bobsleigh, we're different country every week, so we're on a plane. Sunday night, Monday morning, you know, like, we're in Canada. Next day, we're in somewhere else in Canada. Next week, somewhere else. And he'd like wake me up first thing in the morning. All right, let's go. So I'm like, every other bobsledder is sleeping, bro. I'm out running up some side of a mountain. I'm finding some.
You're seeing potential now.
I'm finding some gym down in nowhere. Like, he just had me on that. The whole.
Did you ever want to say no?
Oh, mate, did I ever want to say something? I'm like, come on, man, let me just wash my clothes. You know, you'd be traveling. Like, let me just go laundrette. He's like, no, this comes first.
So I've seen that there was a time when you wanted to quit, and I'm pretty sure he called your wife, didn't he?
So I literally, I wanted to quit. I was done, mate. I stopped for the longest time. I hadn't trained.
What year was this?
This was the year around the quickest time.
What's that? 2016.
16. Yeah. So I wanted to quit. I was done. I was like,
because most of your times were over 10, weren't they? Yeah. And then there was that. And that wasn't. Where was it?
Is it Bedford?
Yeah.
So I wasn't even racing. Like, I was racing domestically, and I was done. I was like, okay, I'm finished. I've had enough. Like, I got injured again, and I'm like, he trains me hard. I can't deal with no more injuries. So I literally, like, I was depressed for maybe about 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then he was ringing me. I'm like, I wasn't even picking up the phone. Then he rang my wife. And then he came to my house. Yeah. So he's come to my house like 3 times in his entire life. In 9 years, come to my house.
You know, it's serious.
Come to my door. And I mean, my dressing gown and like, all feeling sorry for myself. Like, being grown out. You know what I mean? The little belly coming. And then he was like, he basically just told me that you can't do this. You can't leave it like this. Like, we've done too much work. Like, we've been training at this point, we've trained for 5 years. What are you doing? Let's just get the wheels rolling again. Yeah. We had that conversation, and then 2 weeks later, I was the quickest man in the UK, traveling around the world, racing.
That's mad.
Yeah, 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Still had a belly.
Yeah.
Still, it hadn't even gone yet. Bro.
You've never had a belly, bro.
Still had a belly, not even gone yet, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, literally like that. And again, like moments like that when I'm like, if that didn't happen, I would not have known.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
I wouldn't know what I was capable of.
Even if it is a setback.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think I'm a firm believer there ain't even no such thing as lessons, bro. They're all just lessons. Like, everything. Even if I trip over something, I go look around and go, okay, look at my sons and go, watch out for that. Move on. Do you know what I mean? There's no setback there. It's just step forward for them. So it didn't matter.
Life's mentality is the same. The trying way I think of it is like snakes and ladders. The ball game. Yeah. No matter what you bowl, you could be going up and down, but eventually you will.
You'll get to the end, bro. It's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
You get to the end, but I think, like I said, it's not always easy living inside of my skin. Like I wouldn't even say that it's easy, because I demand a lot from myself.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the situation is, I expect a lot from myself. I look around and I look around at other people's response and other people's, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want this.
Yeah. There needs to be no negotiables and
there
needs to be some.
Do you know what I mean?
Things, you know what I mean?
It keeps me under pressure. But I think there was this one thing that I realized when I was quite young. I was like, when things are difficult and when it looks like it's the end of the road for me, that's when I produce my greatest stuff.
Yeah.
So that person that's got his back against the wall is the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And how can I incorporate the back against the wall version of me and actually just put him at the front and make him the forward running version of myself?
Yeah.
And just do it like that, and just like, you know what, I can't step backwards, only can step forward. So what
yeah.
And just keep doing that day in, day out, instead of like, one thing I know, when life's good, it's very easy to sort of sit back.
100%. You get complacent as well.
Yeah, and get complacent, and then you'll wait until life's a bit uncomfortable again. You're like, all right, let me go back to work.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm like, no. Put him first. Put the harshest version of myself.
Yeah.
Put him first. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna leave my house.
Yeah.
Put the back against the wall, Joel on. Go get shit done.
Yeah.
Come home and sit with your family and be happy and be nice.
Yeah, I think that's a great mentality to have, and not just that. I think, especially the age we're at now. What you 34, right?
Yeah,
34. Do you think it's a weird age?
Do I think it's a? I feel like I feel like I'm 64.
Really?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't feel young. I feel like my responsibility is big.
Yeah.
I feel like every decision I make has an impact.
Yeah.
I feel like my especially within my family tree, like my voice holds value.
Yeah.
So everything that I say,
has meaning.
Has meaning. It has impact. So be careful of what you say.
100%.
Be careful of how you act, because you're leading people now. It's not just me making a shit decision. We're all jumping off the cliff. If I jump, you're all gonna follow me off. So I do feel like there is a responsibility in every decision that I make.
And how do you find that responsibility from a mental health kind of point of view? Obviously, mental health's kind of been a big talk about.
I don't know. This is where sometimes I could fall down. I don't know where I stand, like mental healthily.
I get what you're saying.
It's the truth. Like I don't know. Like I don't even have time to sit down and think about it.
Yeah.
Like my sister has recently passed away.
Yeah. Sorry to hear about that, brother.
Yeah. And even in that, my immediate response goes, okay, go look after your mom. How your brother's getting on? Go check on your other sister. Go and like, what do people need from me in this? I don't even know if I processed it. Yeah. I'm just going, okay, what do we need? What needs to happen? How do I make this situation as best as it can be? How can I support that? A lot of the time, you see, when shit hits the fan for me, my brain goes, or when something kicks off, like when I look back at this situation, what am I going to think about myself? And that helps me to just go, all right.
Have you never just had a fuck you moment though? Do you know what I mean? There's got to be some points.
I don't even think
it's coming then. It's coming, right? Because I think everyone goes through that in life. It's your emotions get the better of you, and obviously your upbringing, especially from your father and mother side, gave you that your personality, your morals that you just don't fuck with. You brought that into your family life. Do you know what I mean? So it's a massive well done from you for doing that. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people want the other way, bro.
I tell you something. Like I'm a person. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And we're active in my family about that. But there's something about that makes me able to deal with things. It's just a fact of that. It doesn't. Although I feel like a lot falls on me.
Yeah.
There's something else who knows what I'm capable of, and will always restore me to that point. Like I haven't been brought to this point to just be left here to die. Yeah. So it keeps you going, all right, well, I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
Because this is not how its story ends. So there must be a point to this. And it sort of keeps me from falling inside myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It keeps me going. So even if like I'm getting terrible results, I'm getting whatever, life's hard, things are tough, I'm like, okay, I've not been got to this point. I've not got these Olympic medals and these status and all these things just to be left at this random point. There must be a point to it.
Yeah.
Which then takes the pressure off me as a human man and goes, all right, there's a higher power in force.
Oh, 100%. I believe in energy.
Just weather that storm and something, it will make sense eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm like?
The storm will never pass. You just got to direct it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It will make sense eventually. So, you know, that has made things easy for me. So I think when I talk about like facing fears and getting over hard points, and that's always been a point of that. I know there's a point to my life. So just carry on, and it will tell you in time.
Yeah.
And that's to do with everything. Even like now, obviously dealing with the point that we're dealing with, obviously my sister and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, what is the point of this?
So when you're on your own though, bro, like, were you close to your sister?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
we're really close. Yeah, she loved all my children. Yeah. You know, she lived out in like Western-super-Mare for a while, so we went and visited her, and we were close, man. Close. Yeah. Got a big picture of up on my wall with all my kids, and we you know, we were close and we spoke, and she used to call me a big brother, which
I get what you're saying. It's more your mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of the granddad of the family.
But no grays yet.
No grays yet. I'm holding on. So that even that, like, it is hard, and sometimes I get struck with like a sad feeling, which is new to me. Like I have a new understanding of grief. Like I'm relatively tough human when it comes to like, okay, that's done, let's move on. Where can I go? What can I do with this? Where dealing with the loss of my sister definitely left me in a place where like, okay, I can't just cut that short and move on today. I sort of have to just be where I'm at.
Grief's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Grief is it's love, and it's God or the universe's way of telling you you're still a human, bro.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, that
you know what I mean? You've got feelings.
I've never had to stop. Like I take a week off work and just not do nothing. Yeah, never. That it's not something I do. I gotta be sick, or I gotta be properly sick. Yeah, where I just was like, I don't have the energy. Never in my life have I woke up like that. Never in my life have I woke up and gone, I can't do it today. But I think that was one point where I've gone, okay, so if I feel like this, you know, next time you see somebody going through something, you know, you need to turn your compassion up. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So because what they're going through is maybe before now is a feeling they never understood. It's
a hard concept to get, I think, and like you know, you've been through it losing your sister. When I lost my sister, it was a different. At the time when my sister was ill, my sister died of organ failure. She was an alcoholic. Do you know what I mean? And like at that time, I was going through my own stuff like PTSD. I was sectioned in the mental health hospital. I was there 6 months, but I wasn't allowed to leave. My sister was going through that. I had to snap myself out of my shit, my problems, to come out and try and see her on her deathbed. And she got the chance to come out of hospital and try and get her life better, to try and stop drinking, but she couldn't, bro. No, because of problems. Do you know what I mean? And then like 2 weeks later, she started drinking again, and then her organs just failed. She was in the hospice.
It's tough. You know what's tough? Yeah, I'll tell you something, and like, you know you'll understand this. Like, so being one of the anchors of your family, it's hard to see someone in your family leave because you believe that you're supposed to be part of their protection mechanism for them. So I think one of the hardest things for me is that, like, could I have done more? Could I have saved her? What could I have done? What could I have changed? Because you know that you look around and you go, well, I'm stronger than most. Yeah.
That's what I'm realizing now. Yeah.
What changes could I have made? Yeah. And then you're like,
because we're all given the same freaking 24 hours in a day, but we're all given different hours. Like whatever she was going through, or what, obviously with your sister, it gives you perspective. And I learned, this is a mad story. This is a mad story from my mum, because when I got into contact back with my mum again when I was in the care system, I converted to Islam when I was 16, and I went to the mullah at the Stony Stanton Road down there. So I converted there about a year or two into it, and my mum lived round the road in Paradise from there. And I went to one of the mullahs, and he was like, "How do your family think about you to convert to Islam and stuff like that?" I said, I don't really know my real dad. I said, my mum lives around the corner, but I spoke to her for like 6 months because she was just an alcoholic, like wasn't whatever. And he was just like, you need to go and speak to her because something's not right, something bad's going to happen. 2 days later, she dropped dead, bro. Oh, bro. Do you know what I mean? Bad. Knocking at the door, and it just, you just don't know what's going on in life. Did you speak to her? No, I didn't get the chance to speak to her, like, do you know what I mean? Sorry, but man. through that, it gave me, if I didn't convert to Islam, I would have gone down a different road, bro. I was dealing at the time and stuff. If I didn't have Islam to look at.
I tell you, never say it's similar to that, yeah. So 2 weeks before my sister died, I had a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister was murdered, didn't it?
Yeah.
I had a dream that someone was in her house and me and my brother caught him.
Yeah.
But it was like she let him in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was about 2 weeks prior. And then so I messaged her, right now, I wouldn't normally do this, but I messaged her at 1 a.m, going, be careful who you bring into your house. So much so I had to look back to check,
bro, that you even sent that.
I even sent that. Did I send that? I was like, would never do that, 1 a.m. in the morning. And it was like some geezers in the yard, but me and my big brother grabbed him, and had him, and we're like, who's this geezer? What's he doing in the yard?
Yeah.
And then she when she woke up in the morning, she asked me, literally the last text message she sent me was, what did your dream say? And I was like, don't worry, just be careful who you let into your house. And it was that. That's how she died. Like,
that's fucking mad, bro.
Yeah. That's like some people should let someone into a yard and ended up.
Yeah.
That's
a mad story, bro.
But it is. You look back and you go, that really happened. Like same as you.
Yeah.
Like, someone said that.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that was like hard but better is that I had that dream or I had that message.
Yeah.
And I let her know. Yeah. But then at the same time, you go, could have done more at that point.
Of course, yeah.
I could have acted quicker. I could have acted more severe.
Yeah.
It's definitely like something like this has changed me as a person. Yeah. Because now my reactions will now be different forever. Kids are going to be like, Dad's a bit mad sometimes. Like, I'll ring my daughter and that, and I like can't get her through. What? Yeah, Dad just jumped through the window again. Yeah, sorry. Just trying to, like that. My normal reactions have now changed. Yeah. And I'm now like in some areas, I will be more intent and more.
Elevating a little bit more.
And I know that, and that's one thing I'm like, okay, we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah. That's what I think I'm learning as well. Like, is my intuition. I need to be here, not here or here. Do you know what I mean? Your gut feeling is so freaking powerful. Like when we're born, obviously, we're born into a cell and they cut off. One turns to your brain cell and your gut. That's what they would say. Listen to your gut because it has receptors to your brain. Do you know what I mean? Your gut will never ever lie to you, bro.
The thing is, a big thing for me is like somebody's energy. So I'll go into a space, and I'll be like, you know what? I like that person. Or you know what? Something ain't right for me. Generally, I'm right. Generally, I'll go into a space and be like, I know. Something doesn't. I wasn't feeling what they were giving me. My body don't feel really happy with that. No, that's it. No,
you just don't get that when you're a teenager.
I don't trust that though. Now I'll be like, yep, all right. Either keeping one eye on you, all right. Well, let me just keep your arm's length for now, or I just, I don't even risk putting myself in a bad environment. I'm like, no, it's fine. I don't need whatever's coming from that. I'm all right not to have.
That's growth. That's really good self-awareness, man. Yeah. Love seeing that, bro. It's sick to seeing it from different perspectives of life, especially where you come from and that. So with business now, obviously coming of age, if you want to say it, you've got to really change your narrative and change your compass. Yeah. What are you doing now in business and stuff like that?
I think one thing for me is to just I try and be consistent. Yeah. Like my thing is that I enjoy the buzz of new things. I like that. But I also understand that's immaturity as well. And now
pleasure over purpose.
Yeah. So actually, everything that I do just has to be to a purpose. Like there has been no day where a door hasn't opened for me. Yeah. So I'm not believing that that's changing. Yeah. So there will always be an option for me. There'll always be a way, regardless of how small or how big it is. There's always a way. There's been tough days. There's been great days, but there's always doors for me to open. Yeah. So I don't necessarily stress on where everything is going. It's more about is there growth for me in there? Am I going towards the person that I want to be? Am I changing towards the father and the business person? Am I standing for something that I want to stand for? I think when I initially retired or started getting more into media, more into business, more into working with companies, I was just chasing the money. But it made me busy but purposeless.
Yeah, busy fool.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So And actually, I'm like, let me just invest in the things that are really
close to your heart in a way.
Close to my heart.
Yeah. So what are they at the minute then?
So I work in a school. A school in Scarborough Hall in it's like Southport way, between Southport and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Help their elite athletes.
Yeah.
They work closely with Liverpool Football Club. So that's one of the nicer.
That's big, yeah.
It's one of the nicer things that I do. So you help their academy football players, you help their promotion, you help that. Like that's a private school, but they integrate into the community. So I'm trying to bring more non-private school kids in, give them opportunities that they wouldn't have. Do you know what I mean? Because I think the biggest thing for me is creating opportunities for the next generation. And that's important to me because I got them. But I was one of the few that did.
Of course,
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I was very, very lucky. You look back, everything just worked out so wonderfully.
Exactly.
That didn't need to happen for me. And I know bare man that didn't happen for. So I'm like, okay, how can I create that? How can I create a system where I can start knocking out young professionals, just that elite mindset of you will be successful. You are good enough. There is a way for you. Don't think that there isn't. Don't think that you're worthless. Like you have value.
Giving them the belief in it.
Do you know what I mean? Giving them and just showing them who they are. For me, I had to just do things to work out I can actually do that. And have that kind of just keep going. You work it out and whatever. So just creating that, and then apart from that, I do a lot of speaking. I visit schools all around the country.
How do you find that, like speaking to kids? What's the kind of age range do you speak to? Like,
I have all of them. I laugh with the younger ones.
Of course, you've got to because they get more quick.
So I enjoy that, and obviously I've got ADHD anyway. So I'm like, ding dong, ding dong, ding. So they enjoy that. That's like going at their pace. I enjoy being like secondary school kids. I enjoy being very real with them. And just having them understand, like, listen, you can do a lot here, like, and how much that they have, because even to what we had growing up, there's a lot more there for them. But in a weird way, it makes them softer. So like we probably, slightly tougher, and then as it got like the older, the tougher
the mentality.
It was where actually you want a little bit of this tough mentality, but in a place where you've got so many options, you've got so many ways to express yourself. So that's like having them understand what that is. And then I work with like a lot of sportsmen between the age of like 17 and 21, and having them understand, okay, this is the reality of being an elite sports person. This is what,
because that kind of age range, surely it's going to make or break your career.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you can go the long way.
Or
you can just work with me and we'll sort it out. Like, this is what it is. Like, you can go, it take you all the way to 27 before you're an adult sports person, because your brain ain't there. Or actually, we can just cut through some stuff, and by the time you're 22, 23, you're at the top of your game. You're physically
performing a lot smarter.
Smarter and smarter with your body. Like, one thing about being an athlete is that you can't just drum yourself into the floor. You have to realize how to, again, manipulate your body, how to work with your body.
Recovery is so important. That's
and understanding, okay, this is where I'm strong, this is where I'm weak. How do I dress this area up? How do I make these strengths bigger? How do I, and literally,
not just relying on your age.
Just getting the outcome that you want constantly. Like, even one thing that separates elite athletes from just good athletes is actually the consistency. Why were you good today? Why is your highlight reel all based in the same month? Well, how can we make that month 6 months? How can we make that month a whole 12-month period? Like, having them understand the sort of like chemical reactions that happen inside the body, how their brain changes, how their lifestyle. Like, people be like, I went out for a drink last night and still scored 6 goals. Like, that's great.
It's not the mentality.
But the thing is, this is the thing. You're like, that drink's not affecting you now. So go out for a drink every night, and then let's see where you are in 6 months. Like, that's how it works. Like, the work you did 6 months ago comes to like today. And the things that you're doing today, they're gonna come to like in the next 6 months. So you
get people that gifted going through it, for instance, genetical foods. But don't have the same mentality.
I often find they never make it, bro. They have very short careers. Very, very short careers, because they get to the top on bad habits. You can't sustain that because you get caught. Or you just don't even get there because you don't like being uncomfortable. And I was explaining to my son. My son's 13. He plays quite a competitive football. I was like, mate, if you don't like being uncomfortable, you sort of can't do it. Like, you have to be comfortable just being uncomfortable all the time. 100%. And if there's people around you, like, you need to, you want to be in a place where there's nothing that changes you. However much pressure you feel like you're under, however hard you're working, however tired you are, be comfortable in that. And do your thing, and learn how to do that.
It's a great way of putting that, because that's the same as the military. That's what I learned from the military.
Well, I learned that from military. My Olympic medal was won with a Royal Marine Commando, and
Grenadier Guard, isn't it?
The Air Force. So I went Grenadier Guard was the next Olympics.
He
was in the next Olympics, and a paratrooper. He was with me in the next Olympics.
Because he was in the same regiment as me.
Was he? So I've spent a lot of time with the military guys, and they shaped me probably from the age of about 22 to 23, 24. They were like, that was a big shock for me, being surrounded by so
pure discipline, bro. No matter what you're going through, you've just got to get shit.
I think they just showed me that. They were very gentle with me, to be fair. But it was almost like being in an environment where shit hits the fan and the only person reacting is me. You're like, well, fix up then, bro. Like, you quickly, you start actually going, all right, cool. Like, bobsleigh can be like, the crash is horrendous, bro. You go 100 miles an hour upside down, bro, getting slammed about. Like, it's rough. And then you get to that bottom, and like, my driver would be like, everybody all right? And everyone would be like, yep. And I'd be like, okay, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then we just go back to the top and do it again. Where I'm like, I need 3 weeks off, bro. Like, I need a minute. But they were just like, no, let's go. Mentality is completely different. We've got a job to do. Let's get it done first. You can cry about it later.
That's the best mentality to have, bro.
Well, again, things that have like I said, like that I've came across, I've happened to be exposed to, that will be massive blessings. But again, 90% of the population ain't going to get that chance, and that's what
you have to go through it. So, what's your business aspirations now? Obviously, you do the goods with the kids.
Are
you just letting it flow? You're naturally in that position already.
I don't know, exactly where I'm heading. I think what I do is I change things around to suit the family and where the family is. So at the minute, I can't be too fixed. My son's going from club to club at the moment. So he's doing that, and I'm responsible to support him in that. My wife, she works as a social worker, so she's off doing that. It's just about being able to
so that's maybe being flexible, isn't it?
You just being able to adapt. Like that is my role. Like, make sure everybody's fed, happy. Like, my happiness literally comes from them being happy. If I look across it, and I could literally be in rags, mate. But if everybody's happy, they're smiling, done to an extent, I'm good. Like, my happiness is based
that brings you happiness. Because
it
helps you relax, isn't it? Once your family is happy, you can just relax and chill.
I could be doing the best, everything the best, making the most money, the most at everything. If I look across at my family and they ain't happy, it's pointless for me. That's just how I say it.
The only time I relax, mate, is when I'm on the shitter, bro. That is it. 5 minutes to myself.
5 minutes to myself, man. Got kids knocking on the door like,
Exactly, bro. But so I've got some questions for you, bro.
Go on. We ain't started questions yet, bro. What have we been doing?
Nah, these are questions that I've written down for every guest.
All right. Go ahead.
So let's have a look. Pick a number.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be personal questions. Pick a number 1 to 15.
Pick a number 7.
So, what's an insult that you've received that you're proud of?
An insult? What does that even mean, bro?
So, an insult, for instance, say something's told you that's insulted you, maybe as a child or a teenager, but gave you fucking power in your later years. You're looking for help up there, bro.
I'm trying to think, bro. I'm like, what's an insult that I've received?
Has anyone ever said to you, like, you ain't good enough for this, get out of it?
Bro,
stuff like that give you power. Do you know what I mean?
Probably too many, bro. I'm trying to think of an important one. I remember. So back in Woodlands, I'm a PE teacher. I told my PE teacher, I said, next year I'm gonna run under 11 seconds. And he went, fucking no chance. And I was like, all right.
Gave you that little bit of power.
And it gave me that strength in that. I was like, all right.
Even the teachers had alpha egos there, right? Because it's a male environment.
It's mad.
Remember Mr. Bates? He was one of them.
bro.
Remember Mr. Emmanuel?
Bro, there was too like for me.
Yeah.
I'd never been in such a conflicting environment. I'm like, what are we all so mad at?
Yeah, even the kids are stressed, the teachers are stressed.
Everybody's stressed, bro. And some of these kids are bigger than the teachers anyway. So I'm like, you need to relax, sir. You might get banged out here. Like, what's going on?
100%.
Bro, like, yeah. So, yeah, he said I could never do that. And,
so, another number, one between 1 and 15.
9.
What is a funny story your family tells about you and you'd like to share?
A funny story?
Were you too serious for that?
Nah. Tell you what, there's one time I was in Jamaica, yeah, and my dad was like, we're driving up like some country road and he's just picking mangoes and throwing these mangoes in the back of the car.
Yeah.
I was greedy, innit? So I'm just eating mangoes and got all my shit myself. Full diarrhea, bro.
That fruit test goes straight through,
boom, just straight through, man. These mangoes are bad, bro.
So the story behind it, don't eat too much fruit.
Don't eat them Jamaican mangoes off the side of the mountain, bro. Like,
let me write that down when I go to Jamaica,
bro. I'm telling you, mate, that did me in, bro. Them still laugh at that. Every Christmas I get that. Yeah, tell me.
You can't have your body. When you got the shits, bro, you need to go.
Bro, well, I didn't even, I thought I was going to bust a fart, bro. I thought I was going to fart, bro. It wasn't a follow through,
I know that feeling, bro. Yes, it was, bro. You shoot yourself, bro.
Mate, I followed through, bro. Oh, that was long for me. I'm not even talk about it.
Right, another number, bro.
4.
Number 4. What's your biggest failure and what did you learn from that experience?
What is my biggest failure? You want a real answer?
100% truth with this podcast, bro.
Shit, man, this is tough.
No bullshit. Right.
So, at one time I had an affair.
Yeah.
With a woman.
Yeah.
And wife knows anyway. But I think it was me as a man searching for just something that wasn't real, bro.
Validation?
Yeah, potentially validation. Like, you know, it was when I started to come under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for a way to relieve this pressure. Like, who can just tell me I'm great? Tell me just outside of my current environment of stress.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that was probably if I look back, that was like a moment in life. Like, I've learned a lot from it. I've helped a lot of people in their moments with the stories and because
you can give the perspective of it.
Yeah, with the reality of that. But when I look back, I think that although, you know, like, no one's the complete person.
No, not at all.
But I think as
if you are, you're lying.
Yeah. But as I'm growing up, I'm starting to understand that, you know, my wife isn't a full circle, but I am her other half.
Yeah.
Like, and as long as we,
I like that.
as long as we stick together,
then
all things will be all right, and I'll be able to cope with most things, or all things. You know, but when things get hard and I pull away now, so as a man, I want to shut down when I come under pressure.
Yeah.
So I've shut down. Yeah. So I've sort of severed that connection, but then I'm looking to relieve myself from the stress that I've now shut down from somewhere else. It's like weird. So
do you mind if I ask a question?
Go on.
Do you feel like you didn't have an identity outside your family and the person, your sports personality?
Yeah. I still feel a bit like that now. Like, I am Joel the husband and Joel the sportsman. That's where I begin and end. Like, I am that.
Do you get a point? Because this is where I sit. Sometimes I sit in my car. I'm a family man. I do this mindset style. Just like everyone says, I sit there and like, the fuck am I, bro?
Bro,
what the fuck am I doing?
You know what? Yeah. This is what it is. Yeah. Me often is like, okay, I'm not even worried about who I am.
Yeah.
I'm all about, this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
This is the person that I want to be. It's a past of like everybody that I know. Maybe like any father figure, any person, of almost my idea of what I want to be is surpassed all of that.
Yeah.
And I just keep focused on that.
What took you to that point? There's a question you don't have to answer.
No. What took me to the point of an affair?
Yeah.
What took me to the point?
Because I think sometimes, man, look, I'm honest, I've been there.
Yeah. No, I think.
And sometimes you don't know.
It was just like, just wanted to be, just wanted to be, I guess, looked at through fresh eyes.
Yeah, of
They
course.
wanted to be admired through fresh eyes. Like, one thing about when you're in a marriage, like, your shininess wears off. Like, all the wonderful things that you bring to the table, they wear off.
Yeah.
Which then leaves you feeling not so shiny. So you'll be so like the things that I do every day now are still like good husband, good father stuff, good. They're just regular things, right? You go to somewhere else, and all of a sudden now you're.
Did you feel like a failure at that point?
Your value's gone up. I think I felt alone, bruv. I just felt by myself. And I was like, just want to be, just want to feel like I want to be loved outside of everything that's going on.
You wanted that validation, that feeling of emotion, not just that. You wanted something outside. I get what you're saying, because I think it's hard in a relationship when, especially when kids involved, you lose a connection. And I think as spouses,
you know that,
you need to get that connection back, whether it's one night a week. Have dinner.
A new thing that me and my wife, we exercise together. So that's a new thing. Like, me and my wife I would never even enjoy that. Think about going.
I don't.
Think about going gym with your wife.
I train way too hard.
No, think about it. But that's something that I've started doing. And I enjoy it.
That's good.
It's an opportunity to spend time together. We got 4 kids, so we may never spend no time together. Like, even evenings are gone now, because my kid plays football so often. I don't even have evenings anymore. Half of the week I'm traveling. I'm at Liverpool, I'm somewhere else. So, but
you can be in the same house and not spend time together.
But that is an opportunity to us to just spend time together, which I like. And I had to create that, though. So this is something that I needed for myself. But I had to create an environment where we could do that, because otherwise there'd just be disconnect.
Okay,
Does that make sense? Like, for one, it's helping her get fit. She's getting free PT lessons. She's like a superhero right now for herself. She got an Olympic athlete train. You pay thousands of pounds for this.
Do you wear your medal in that when you train?
Swinging that bat and that. You love. She's my worst client, by the way. She gives me the most shit. But it's an opportunity for us to connect as husband and wife.
It's learning each other's love language. That's what I've been learning about the last couple of years. Is love language is so important. My way of someone giving me loyalty, respect, and stuff like that, that's my love. I don't care about affection. But then if the other partner cares about affection, I need to give that to receive it.
Standard man stuff, though. I think every man has that struggle to an extent.
I don't hold hands. I don't do that shit. I don't do this and that.
Well, like,
I hold my kid's hand. Jump at the chance.
All day. All day, mate. I've been through the airport. I'm wearing kids. I got one on the front, one on the back, one on my head. Let's go. We go. Do you know what I mean? And I've had to learn how to.
It's because you want their attention.
I've had to learn how to break that, though. How to break the fact of that. I don't want to do this. But
it's made you step up as a man.
If it's making you happy, then I'm happy in it. Like, it's one of them. I've been salsa dancing, bro. Big man like me and that. Feet, bro. But I go salsa dancing. I'm seeing little like Mario spinning my wife around, bro. I'll bag him out, bro. But do you know what I mean? I got to roll with it. But yeah, so like I've had to learn how to do that. And ultimately, like, what do I want? I want my wife to look back, or my kids to look back and say, you know what, that was nice, bro. Dad put in a good stint, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here for.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I want to be like, Dad put in a good shift for us still. And I want them to look at me and go, I want to be able to do that. Actually, I want to be better than that. I want to be whatever Dad did. I want to up it 2 notches.
They need to see the bad and the good sometimes.
I hate that, because I can be fiery in certain environment. I'm like, listen, I can let things roll off my back, but there's some areas I'm like, we can't talk about this. It's not a conversation. This just is. So I have to learn how to still.
Of course,
learn how to control those urges.
Control your environment. I get that, bro.
I don't remember what the question was, bro. That's gone, isn't it? I don't even know how we started on that topic.
So some other questions. So 1 to 5, pick one number.
5.
So where can listeners find you online if they need any help with anything, or if they want to contact you about anything?
I think all my details are
all on social media.
All on social media.
What's your taglines on your social media?
Joel Fearon 6.
Joel Fearon 6.
I don't know how. Like, Yahoo gave me that Joel Fearon 6 years ago, and I've got it now. My son Simeon Fearon 6. I'm like David, like real number 6s. I don't know why.
That's an angel number 6.
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah. So not about it, but yeah.
Right, I'm going to find a question for you, and I want you to answer it. Yeah. So, what's one lesson your job has taught you that you think everyone should learn in life at some point?
that you can get better at anything.
Yeah.
I'm not the most talented yet. I'm one of the fastest British sprinters. I'm running a straight line, like probably the most simplest task you can do. I managed to break it down enough to become one of the elite
through
in the world
consistency.
doing it. So if I can do that, you can do anything with anything.
Yeah. Love that, bro. So, guys, this is the end of the podcast. I just want to say a massive thank you to Joel, bro, for being honest, not just that, getting to know you a little bit more. Because we knew each other 20 years, but the stuff that I've learned about you today that I
grown ups now, bro. It's
a
big man show now.
You're still at 20, bro.
Oh, man.
But massively appreciate it, guys. Obviously, if you ever want to ask questions to Joel, go onto his Instagram, his social media handles. It'll help you as much as possible, especially through sport. Obviously, I'm the Mindset Soldier. If you need anything from me, but always remember, have an amazing day, have an amazing week for the Mindset Soldier.
Love people.